We have a lot of information today. I'm Sam Don and these are the news. We are back with your favorite section, the good, the bad and the what. The good one. The COVID-19 was finally defeated by a local doctor. He seems to be very happy with the results of his last experiment.
Thank you, Sam. I'm really glad to tell you that the vaccine is ready and we've already tested in 30 persons. All of them are showing really good results and at the day are really healthy. To be honest, I tested in me the vaccine before I tested in all the people, and look at me, I feel pretty healthy. I hope to share the cure as soon as possible with the rest of the countries that has this problem. This is a pretty hard time and I hope that this ends pretty soon.
That's a pretty good news. But on the other hand, we're still having some bad news. The famous movie director Lil Punch tested positive for COVID-19. He seems to be okay, just with water and sanitizer in his house. We hope that he gets well soon. Our last story comes from San Cristobal. Was the Sasquatch seen doing what? We've had a lot of reports of a strange creature surrounding the woods of San Cristobal. People trust that it could be the Sasquatch. We have some testimonies here.
Yeah, my grandfather saw him. He was stealing some of the carrots that he has in the backyard, but he was fast. He jumped out of the fence and then ran to the woods.
Yeah, I saw the Sasquatch the last weekend at the party in the Mammoth Cave. He was a pretty chill guy though.
Well, at least the Sasquatch seems to be having a good time, while the people is under the quarantine. And now, we have some recommendations for the entertainment by our local movie critic, Christian Castro.
Thanks, Sam. Hi. Today I have 3 movie recommendations for y'all. The first one is a romantic drama by A Silent Voice. It is about Shoji Shida, who's the childhood bully of Nishimiya Shoko, who has a hearing disability. The story begins in their childhood, when all the kids end up bullying Shoko, and then, when they grow up, they turn tables for Shoja, who's the first bully of Shoko and then he's bullied. I cry every time that I see this movie, and I give it a 10 out of a 10. Next one, we have a horror musical by the director Gaspar Noé. It is about a group of dancers gathered on an empty school. They are practicing for their next competition. In the beginning, it starts with a party. All seems very normal, but then one of the dancers put LSD on the sangria punch. It starts to get very weird and all the dancers get into a delirium and end up pretty bad. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And last but not least, we have The Darjeeling Limited. It is an emotional comedy of 3 brothers who are reforging family bonds while they are on a trip around India. It has a lot of beautiful takes on Indian temples and in the desert. It is one of my favorite movies from the director Wes Anderson. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I hope that one of my recommendations helped y'all to kill the boredom. See you next time.
Thank you, Christian. Up next, we have the gossip section
with my partner Ivan.
Thank you, Sam.
The rapper Fred the Godson died this Thursday, April 23, of complication from the COVID-19, or the mentioned coronavirus, at 35 years of age, and it was his wife who announced such unfortunate news. The rapper's wife commented that since the beginning of April, the singer, whose real name is Frederick Thomas, has been admitted to the hospital in an emergency by presenting severe symptoms compatible with COVID-19, being connected to a respirator. Days later, his wife has reported to the musician had complications that had worsened his health. Up to here is the remarkable news, rest in peace. Coming up, the technology section with our friend Emmanuel. Thanks, Ivan. Well, let's talk about quarantine technology. In this day, people have complained about the overheating of their electronic items like computers and cell phones. Experts say that in this day of quarantine, people can abuse their electronic devices, such as phones, video game consoles, computers, among others. It is recommended to use these items sparingly to avoid failure or damage and to avoid economic losses. Also, there have been reports that the internet is poor. It has been very slow, and sometimes the procedures that need the internet can be performed due to service failures. The companies that provide the service report a saturation in the telecommunication networks, perhaps due to the fact that there are more users to use the internet in this quarantine. In activities such as online class, or people who work from home, and also people who are looking past time and not get bored. The companies ask the population to understand why the problem are being repaired and the network is being repaired.
Triple double, freaking brothers every way like MJ. I can't believe today was a good day.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Now we will talk a little about health. Last Tuesday, April 21, the start of Phase 3 was announced. The Undersecretary of the Secretary of Health, Hugo López-Gatell, decreed that Mexico is already in Phase 3 of the coronavirus epidemic, in which a decrease in infection and hospitalization is expected. So a call was made to the population to maintain mitigation measures through the healthy National Distance Day. In the morning conference and the national police, the official mentioned that the declaration of Phase 3 for the new coronavirus was approved by the General Health Council. López-Gatell Ramírez mentioned that for the CSG it was exposed that in different geographical areas of the country the infection by COVID-19 have exceeded 1,000 cases. He emphasized that in the entities with the fewest number of cases and in jails to manage to control the transmission of the virus. From May 18, the measure of social distancing can be lifted with a reopening of social distance.
A good day.
Hello friends, today in this favorite section of many love and friendship, I will tell you the time and why needs a wedding be cancelled on the birthday. It is a story that seemed at first a fairy tale until it was total tragedy. I have been working for a wedding planning agency for a long time, and that's when all this happened. The story of Arturo and Pau, a young couple that was going to marry with all the illusion and with all the love in the world. I have never seen a couple so in love in my life. Arturo and Pau had been together from high school until the age of 26 when they decide to get married. They hired the agency and that's when I met them. They hired us from a year before the wedding and that allowed me to get to know them a little more than usual, apart from always giving me a lot of confidence. They are, they were a super love couple. They hardly fought, and Arturo was the best boyfriend and fiance of all that I have to see. The wedding was coming up and everyone was very excited, family, friends and grooms and even more. Until the wedding day come, I spent the whole day with the Brit in her room while they fixed her because that was my job as a planner. Apart from the fact that we had become very good friends. They were almost finished fixing it when Paul's best friends arrived to take photos with her, told about the wedding and all that show. They were there for a long time. I learned about the following later when Pau herself told me because I left the room to give them their privacy. It turns out that Eva, Pau's best friend, asked her if she's really sure to marry Arturo because many people said to he was gay that he did not suit her. So Pau tells her what that she is because she asks him that if she knows that Arturo is the love of his life. Pau was very upset with Eva and asked her to omit those gossip and not ruin her wedding day. Once again, in the room where Pau would make the last arrangement, Eva entered and asked everyone to leave the room, and the time to go to mass has arrived, and they were still talking alone until I decided to go in, and it was when I saw Paulina crying and Eva talking of her wedding dress. Eva told me that Paul will no longer have a wedding. It was when Paul crying tells me that he that discovered that Arturo was gay and that he had a partner with whom he had cheated on her for 2 years, apart from having been with many more. Eva had shown him clear evidence that Arturo was gay. Super hungry, Paul super hungry sent to bring Arturo, who was in church, prepared to get married and did know it what await him. Arturo arrived playing the victim and Paul slaps him crying, who tells him that he had cheated on her all these years and that she was very disappointed in him for not having the courage to confess it. And that was how Arturo's perfect love for Pau turned out to be false. Who accepts his mistake and but did much harm to Pau. So if you are next girlfriend in love, make sure that your fiance is not going to turn out like Arturito. Okay, friends, and until this tragic love story remains, it will wait for your next week for another love story. Bye.